Well, I'm back. Thank you for your patience, everyone. And thank you for the encouraging comments while I recovered from a ridiculous knee injury that prevented me from sitting for extended periods of time. Remember, posture is important, kids. This unscheduled downtime did have its benefits. I was able to write up the script for episode 2 and create outlines for half a dozen future episodes. Most importantly, I was able to think about how to structure future videos in this new story phase. Like I said, I'm learning as I go. This first episode, Three-Horn Treachery, has taught me that it was a mistake to share the entire story outline and design work before I started drawing it. I was following the pattern of previous videos, but I don't think that will work as well for this stage. While the downtime has been frustrating, it's been doubled by the fact that I find it a lot harder to write videos about the story in this format. If you've been following along, at this point you've seen the process I follow in the design videos. You've seen the whole outline for this episode already, not to mention all of the designs. That means that most of this content is simply execution. I'm just making the thing, going from thumbnail sketches to final panels. While some find that enjoyable to watch, and I'm thankful for that, it's a lot easier for me to talk about the design stage and all the thoughts and problem solving involved. Going forward, I think it will be more fun for you and for me if I reveal the story and designs as the narrative unfolds. This means that each new video should reveal a mixture of story, art process, and design work. But until I can try a new approach on the next episode, I have to finish this one. You're watching me draw the second half of page 1 and the entirety of page 2. Thankfully, there are still things I can say about them. One of the first things to discuss is stylistic. I'm trying to learn how to use black. When working on Tellurian, I avoided using black shadows. This was a stylistic choice inspired by the art of Mobius. For inspiration on this project, I'm leaning more on artists like Hal Foster, Mark Schultz, and Frank Frazetta. It's not my usual approach, so there's still a ton of room to grow. Thankfully, this is my project, and I'm okay with the last episode looking different from the first, as long as it's an improvement. Looking back at Tellurian, I think that comparing the first and last pages shows a lot of growth, so I'm hoping that making Dead Gods will help me grow too. That said, on this project, I'm going to be trying to find a place for darker shadows. It's something that I've been avoiding for years because it's challenging, so I'm not allowing myself to run from it anymore. I also think it's thematically appropriate for this project. I want this world to be beautiful and fascinating, but the darkness that's been allowed to fester is everywhere. I've learned that one thing that will help a lot for the next episode is creating thumbnails with those dark shadows in mind. For this episode, I was dipping my toe in the water, struggling to find places I could add those strategic shadows. If I'm thinking about them right at the start, it will be easier to use them overall. If you like where this project is going and want to help support it, there are a number of ways. First, press all the YouTube buttons and leave a comment telling me what's inspiring you lately. Good music, awesome art, compelling stories, some cool location. Second, click the link to my website below and follow me on stuff. I sometimes post different content on different platforms, so take your pick. You can even follow me on Patreon for free. Speaking of which, option 3, subscribe on Patreon. There are some tiers to choose from depending on what you're up for. Sabretooth and Dragon tier patrons get access to my Discord server, and Dragons get to vote on aspects of this project as well as get their names in the videos. Finally, you can pick up a physical copy of my previous story, Tellurian. I like to say that it's proof that I can actually finish what I start. You can read the whole story for free on my website, link in description, and if you like it, you can order a copy so that you can still read it when the power goes out. Thanks for hearing me out. Now a note on color. Throughout the design stage, I was testing out a theory. On Tellurian, one stage that took a great deal of time per image was the shading. Even though it was a simple cel-shaded lighting style, it took up a lot of time. Some images in Tellurian didn't require it, and in most cases, I actually preferred how it looked without the shadows. As I mentioned before, my project is heavily inspired by classic Sunday adventure comics. Due to the limitations of their release schedule and the technology available, color was usually kept relatively simple, enough to add clarity and let the line work shine through. So in this case, the inspiration I'm trying to harken back to also lines up perfectly with a technique that I prefer the look of, and that will also save me a great deal of time in the long run. This means that in rare cases, when the storytelling really demands it, and when black shadows don't solve the problem, I may need to paint some shadows, but really the bulk of the story is likely to be painted with flat colors, using other techniques to imply light, atmosphere, and depth. So there we have it. Only one more page to go, and this first 3-page episode of Dead Gods will be complete. Thanks for watching.